Do we do the starting soon? It's not come up. Oh, okay. When I come on, take it back to that slide. Wait till I come on. Good morning, Infinity Fellowship. Welcome to the Infinity Fellowship. It's Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr. I want to remind you that today is the 19th of October, and it is the finish of Tennessee State University's homecoming week. Get geeked, get geeked. It was homecoming week, but wherever you are, this is homecoming month at the Infinity Fellowship. So we're excited that you are joining us today for Sunday service. We have an awesome Sunday service for you today. Today is If Teaches. That means that this is the opportunity that you have to interact with the morning download, with the morning message, with the word for today. Where else can you go to have a chance to unpack the messages that you hear on Sundays other than the Infinity Fellowship? Well, we're looking forward to your gratitude. We're looking forward to your standing ovations. We're looking forward to the fellowship. Here's what you do in this moment before we get started live here. We want you to hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Let's get that party started right and right now. Let's hit that like button. Let's send up some hearts if we're on Facebook. Wherever you are on the X, hit the re-X button. Wherever you are, this is the time to tell people that Infinity Fellowship is on. This far, thus far. Ain't no stopping us now. That's our theme for the month. And today we'll be unpacking the topic, standing on the promises. It's going to be really good. So say hello to somebody in the chat box today, whatever platform you're on. All of our first timers, get ready to be welcomed and loved on. We're looking forward to seeing you. Welcome to Infinity Fellowship. As we say around here, welcome home. See you in a minute. Good morning, Infinity Fellowship. I want to say good morning. And I'm pleased that you are joining us today for the start of Sunday service. We want you to put yourself into a meditative space. It is time for us to open the way at Infinity Fellowship. And as we open the way, we prepare ourselves through meditation through affirmative prayer, and of course, through the pouring of libations. So we invite you today in this moment to prepare yourself for meditation by simply settling in as we turn over the stream to the capable hands of our young brother and practitioner, Brother Tyrell Lindsley, who will lead us into a brief meditation.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Infinity Fellowship. I'd like to say good everything. So that way we also add the other time frames and other dimensions that will be joining us throughout the infinite stream here. So if you're catching us in the afternoon, if you're catching us in the evening, good everything to you. And thank you for joining us. As we center ourselves in this meditation practice, we begin with the breath, just breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Continuing to breathe in, breathe out. You can add to this practice the closing of the eyes if you'd like. And just continuing to breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. Not focusing too much on how fast or slow you're doing it. Just acknowledging the energy flowing in, the energy flowing out. Recognizing that at this very moment, all things are in alignment. Breathing in all the love that you can take in, and letting all the love that you can go out. Breathing in all the good that you can take in, and letting that good flow back out. Continuing this inward and outward expression of the divine love that flows through us all. Breathing in the gratitude of all things working in your favor. Blowing out the gratitude of all things being in alignment. Noticing the shoulders relaxing. Noticing the heartbeat steadying. Being present in this divine moment. Allowing those thoughts that may come in to gently flow in and out, mimicking the pattern of the breath, not getting overly focused on any thought or expression that comes, but letting it flow through the mind. Continuing this intentional breathing, and allowing our minds to absorb the peace. Allowing our bodies to rest in the peace. Allowing our bodies to rest in the love. Continuing this divine expression of love as we expand this energy, as we expand this focus into the space and the awareness of the God of your acceptance and understanding. We are now open. We are now ready to receive all that is for us. Breathing in that which is for us. Exhaling in expectation. And so it is.
We want to thank you, Brother Lindsley, for taking us into the space of peace and mindset as we prepared our way now, as we are now in one accord on the breath. We invite you to bow your heads and close your eyes as we pour energy into realignment for manifestation. We love this energy here today at Infinity Fellowship. And as we are opening this fellowship today, we tune our energy inside to the God of your acceptance and understanding. If that energy has a name, has a designation, has a culture, has a background, we speak that alignment right now. To the God of our mothers, the God of our fathers, the God of our ancestors, to the good and orderly direction that guides us all to the universe, to divine source, to the ultimate most high creator, perceived by many different names and yet known by one magnanimous and beautiful energy. We speak to you directly right now, even as we speak as an extension of ourselves, as the divine source of who we are. We give thanks today. We are so grateful for this gathering of the Infinity Fellowship. And I just want to say on behalf of this community, wherever we sit, wherever we stand, wherever we move, wherever we flow, that we know that you are the divine source that has gotten us to where we are right now. Over the last 11 years, you have brought us from a mighty long way. And we are grateful to stand here 11 years in the vibrational frequency of love. So thank you today for this broadcast energy. Thank you for those who are here in the place with us, in the physical space with us, who are helping us through the technology that allows us to reach so many people wherever they are. I speak gratitude for family, gratitude for friends, gratitude for new challenges that force us to grow, gratitude for the crossroads that you provide to us, where you give us a choice to practice good character. Thank you for the conflicts that we may have encountered this week that made us dig deep into our spirit and say, oh no, not today. All things are working in my favor. Thank you for the struggles that we have had this morning on our way to get to this place. Thank you for the struggles we may have had inside our own minds, the questions, the doubts, the fears, because they pushed us to just do it anyway. And so when we do it anyway, we show up in wholeness, we show up in love, we show up in power, we show up in a frequency vibration that says all things are possible through you. So we extend this energy of love and gratitude to those who are moving through difficult circumstances, knowing that those circumstances ain't real. Those circumstances are exactly that. They are temporary moments. But we know, God, that you are the vision, that you are the pillar, that you are the rock, that you are the foundation that always stays with us and within us. And so we tap into this space today, right now. We open up to this space right now. We send from this space of love, consciousness, and power, the acceptance of you, the acceptance of our mission and our purpose in this life as a community. And we extend our hands to those who we wrap in love, to Sister T. Treehern and the family of Brother Bobby Daniels, who has made his transition into life after life. We send your life, your love, your legacy into the generations that come after you. And to those who are dealing with like circumstances, to those who are on a bed that we used to call the bed of affliction, we know that it is the bed of movement, that pain and dis-ease are moving through their bodies right now. That those who may have struggled to even turn on the TV today, that they know that when they turned it on, there was going to be a blast of reminder energy coming through it, that everything that they are facing is gone right now. Not going, but gone. Every piece of pain, every moment is released right now. It is released in the breath. It is released in your healing power. And we are now standing unfettered in the highest plane of consciousness, knowing that this is true. That when we tune out everything else that distracts us, we recognize that we are beings of love. We are beings of power. We are beings of strength. We are beings of creativity. We are beings of overcoming. We are beings of infinite power. Why? Because we are ultimately beings of you. And we can only fall as far as we fall from the tree, because the fruit comes from the root, and you are the root. And we acknowledge it in this moment today. And so from this place of proclamation, we speak that all things are in alignment today, that something is shared in this service today that will uplift someone. Most importantly, that someone will feel seen and gain the tools to live a better life. For this is why we exist, as divine reflections of each other and of you. It is for these things and others that cannot be put into words. We simply take a deep breath in gratitude. Inhale and exhale. We proclaim it as such in alignment, and so it is. Amen, Amen, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe. It is done. Let us prepare our minds for our pouring of libations. Today, we want to recognize and welcome those ancestors into the place of spiritual gathering, those who have gone before, who have transitioned into the place of life after life. That's what we call it here at Infinity Fellowship. We are under no illusions. We understand that energy is never created or destroyed, that it only changes form. This, my friends, this, my family, is scientific. And we know that if this exists in the world of physics, whatever strain of physics you study, particle physics, string theory, whatever you are, if we understand this about energy, then we go a little bit easier when it's time for us to talk about what we call death or transition. We know that without the animation of the spirit, of the consciousness in the body, then this is simply an earth suit. So while we are in this earth suit, wearing it in this plane, we give honor in this moment to those who have transitioned to the place where they no longer needed their earth suit. And we do this every single Sunday. If you're new to Infinity, welcome to it. It's called the pouring of libations. It is a pouring out of water. The water being representative of our spirits and who we are in this plane of consciousness, into the earth, which represents the next plane of consciousness. Why? Because that's what these bodies are ultimately made of. So when the bodies go back, the spirit continues. And when we call the names aloud of those who have transitioned into this space of life after life, if you see that infinity symbol, we are simply connecting the dots, opening the pathways, letting ourselves, our family know that we are infinitely all connected, going all the way back, regardless of your skin tone, regardless of your hair texture. We are ultimately divine manifestations of creation. So in this moment, as we pour with the divine energy cycle, and we say, cool, cool water, freshen our spirits today, Ashe. Freshen and consecrate this place for spiritual work, Ashe. We give praise to Almighty Mother, Father God, Divine Source, and all creation, Ashe. Freshen our collective ancestors together around the world, Ashe. Grant to us peace and prosperity, Ashe. We pour to the cardinal directions that you find in many of the indigenous traditions as a wheel. And we travel this wheel in the 4 cardinal directions. We pour to the energy of the north, which reminds us to be a yes today. If you have an open heart today and a mind that is focused on love energy, you're going to feel something powerful. I speak it in transition to something awesome. Ashe. To the energy of the east, the rising sun of knowing that you got another chance to do it today. We do not sit in yesterday. We stay in the right now. Remember that. Ashe. To the energy of the south, when the hardest times sometimes come, when there's a lot of heat, this energy in the south reminds us to dig in to who you are and whose you are. And as you are connected to all that is, it's a beautiful time to be you today. Ashe. And to the energy of the west and the rising sun that gives way to the horizon of the darkness, where the moon and the stars provide us light. So even in those tough times and those difficult times, if you pay attention to the signs, if you listen to the voices of those around you, if you meditate on the stories of those who have come before in their memory, you will be given light even in your darkest times. Ashe. From there to the indigenous tradition of the 5th direction, the ground below us, we're speaking that you're grounded today. You're grounded in culture, you're grounded in love, you're grounded in peace, you're grounded in joy, you're grounded in conscious awareness and an open heart and attitude. And that's going to keep you from breaking when the storm comes. If the storm comes, we got a little rain here in Nashville today, but the storm may come, but it's always better to bend than it is to break. Ashe. Deep roots. To the sky and the open landscape of possibility today, may you dream something big, super big, and may you recognize that you are absolutely empowered and crazy enough to get it done. Ashe. To the place that brings it all together, that 7th direction, the heart center. This is the place where we place our hands when we want to make sure that we focus on aligning our mind, body, and spirit. And this is the energy that we breathe in gratitude. It is Grand Central Station. It is the place of the heart. And we say in the tradition of Ma'at, may your heart always be as light as a feather. Ashe. So it goes with the acknowledgement of Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, and all creation. We open the portal now for you to type a name in the chat or to call a name aloud where you are so that we can generate this energy for love of the ancestors. As we mentioned before, I want to pour a special pour of water out as you are calling those names and writing them in the chat. I want to pour libation for Brother Bobby Daniels, Ashe. Brother Bobby Daniels became one of the great OGs in the theater and film community here. First met him when I was doing a film called Second Chance, which was just a few years ago when my hair was fully black. Black as this shirt with just a little gray highlights, but nonetheless, met him on the set, made a bond with him, had a fabulous life story. had some wonderful success. For those of you who listen to Kenny Rogers, the country artist and pop artist, for years he toured. He was Kenny Rogers' drummer. And also a music producer, fell into some deep, dark times and some deep struggles that led him through some pathways that were self-destructive, and yet found a way to turn that around and worked to help people who had been experiencing incarceration and wanted a new life, helped fund many nonprofits and giving back to the world. So Pops, Bobby Daniels, man, we send it out to you, man. He also taught me how to do the Temptations dance move in Black Nativity. I love him. I love it. So we send that energy out into you, Sister T, and to the family there. But as we pour these next few pours of water, we invite you to share a name or call a name aloud at this time. Ashe. And finally, to the children in the world, in the womb, and yet unborn. We say together around the world, Ashe, 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 oh. It is done. The way is open, y'all. We are here for Infinity Fellowship. We are here for Sunday service. We are here and we are moving and we are grooving and we are happy and excited that you are joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. It is time for us to generate some gratitude in the chat. We are celebrating gratitude. And the way we celebrate that gratitude is going to be beautiful because we're going to sing good morning in a minute. But we want to welcome our visitors at this time. And I think because my monitor is out in here, I think we might be on the visitor slide. I think we're going to be okay if we are. And if we are, y'all send me the thumbs up because, oh, look, I love it. My tech crew is looking out for me today on this monitor situation. I am with it. As we are here today at Infinity Fellowship, we want to welcome you to Infinity Fellowship and say, hey, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a first timer. If you are a first timer, say hello to us and scan that QR code that you see on your screen. That QR code allows us the opportunity to get to know you in a powerful way. It gives us an opportunity for us to get a little information and to send you a love note, a thank you note for showing up today, and also gives you an opportunity to join Infinity. More on that in a minute because we're starting our new members class on Wednesday, this Wednesday. More on that in a minute, but we're starting new members and we'd love to have you in there. But even if you're just saying hello, fill out the QR code, fill out the link that's in the chat, and let us know that you're here at Infinity. We know that Infinity is a special place. We all love it. Lots of people have been talking about Infinity. There's been a lot of buzz. We're grateful that you joined us. But we like to let you know that Infinity is more than a church. It is a spiritual movement to bring together humanity in a powerful way around the common themes that you find in all faith traditions. So as we are here, I want to say to you that if you felt like you didn't fit in other places, you felt like your consciousness was expanding, you wanted to read more, to study more, and you wanted to not have to do it alone, well, you exactly landed exactly where you're supposed to be. We see you today for who you are. You're not just a human being who showed up for the spiritual experience. It's the other way around. You're a spirit navigating the human experience just like the rest of us. So we want to welcome you in, and we will generate some gratitude as we do that. Our new folks, generate something good in the chat. Our folks who come every Sunday, or if this is your second or third Sunday, generate some gratitude in the chat by letting us know one thing that you're grateful for. When we start singing good morning, we want to give some time for you to just blast us out and say, here's one thing that I'm grateful for, and I'll have a slide for you. But for our visitors, we like to welcome you by letting you know we know who, what, where, when, and why you are. So take a deep breath. If you're a visitor, you can receive this and know that people from around the world, and even my folks in the place in here, are repeating this after me. I see you, but you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside. You're a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me. Where I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you're not alone. I'm with you. We're with you. And you are at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, my friend. You're so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the exact same thing. So we're going to help each other out. All right? I know the real you. And I see you shining today. I feel you shining today. I know you're shining today. So welcome to infinity. Welcome home. Asheo, and good morning to you. Let's get it going, y'all. It's at Infinity Fellowship today. Lady Kenitha is here, looking sharp. I'm very appreciative of her blue and white stripes. Yeah, she's representing. She's going to lead us in a song. We want you to sing it along with us as you type. Tell us who you are. One thing you're grateful for. Use the slide. Good morning to you.
A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say, a da 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 da, a da 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 da, a da 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 da. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. So I know you're online right now. Good morning. Make sure that you're typing in something that you are so grateful for, right? On this wonderful morning. I'm so grateful to be up and being able to move, huh? I'm grateful that we get to be here together on another Sunday. It's a wonderful day, so go ahead and type in your gratitude. And all my children out there, all the youth, if you want to tap your parent, if you're not watching it by yourself, and say, hey, I got something that I'm grateful for that I want to share too. Good morning. Morning to you.
Hey, that's me, Rich Grant Band.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good
Man, that was a great good morning, Lady Kanitha. I think I like it. I am absolutely loving it. We are loving everybody who is on today. I am getting my little monitor in so I can say hello to everybody because I like to say hello to whoever I can see, whoever's in the chat place, whoever is there. I see some folks in the chat and I'm loving it. All right, we got standing ovations in a few minutes, y'all, but we want y'all to go ahead and get your mind prepped around it. But yes, good morning. Dr. Tiffany Smith is in there. Ashley is in there. Grateful for peace. Appreciate the meditation, Brother Tyrell. Put me in a peaceful place this morning. I love it. Yes, indeed. All of that energy is in there too. Christina, Lakeisha is in the house. Gratitude for if and this new day. Ashe. Oh, that energy is in there. We are seeing y'all. Tashana is there. Iris is there. We're seeing each and every one of you in this place today as we are preparing. I'm putting an early link in. You see it for our standing ovations because we know there's some good things that have happened for you that we want to unpack for and with you in a very powerful way. In this moment, it is time for our giving. How about that? It is time for our giving. Giving is important at Infinity Fellowship. This is the time for our tithes and our offerings. And when we talk about tithes and offerings, what does that mean? Well, tithes and offering, what does that mean, Red? Well, let's talk about that for just a brief second. Tithing is a practice of giving 10% of what you receive back to the place where you receive your spiritual food. So we put some spiritual food on the table on Sundays here. So that act is not just for Infinity. Sure, it means we can have technology. It means that we can actually exist as brick and mortar. We are indeed a very powerful ministry because of the work that we get to do in the community. The events that we get to host here in the Infinity Center, the people that we get to have participate in activities on the 4.9 acres that we exist on, the amenities that we enjoy when we come in and we get to watch a game together or we get to host a movie. All of these wonderful things are made possible because we are a community of givers. That is true. But first and foremost, the reality is that giving is something that each and every one of us gets the opportunity to do to adjust our vibrational frequency with that of the universe. I want you to take a second and just breathe that in. Because the reality is, God gives us the breath in our bodies. We're given these wonderful ideas to go in the world and build. We are blessed with family. We are blessed with friends. We are blessed with people who will lift us up when we are down. And those things happen because the universe, the God of your acceptance and understanding, Jehovah, Allah, Jesus, however you frame that, loves us enough to pour into us. When we find ourselves out of alignment, it's often because we get focused on taking. Well, how can I get this? How can I get wealth? How can I get the car I want? How can I get somebody to love me? How can I get? We're always focused on getting. That creates a vibrational frequency that you're a taker. When you give, though, you match the frequency of the very universe that you are appealing to for all of the things that you want. So we proclaim alignment for you today, that you open your heart and practice this practice of giving in a powerful way. Those of you who are tithing, I know you tithe during the week. It comes in the moment of offering. We also get an opportunity to give whatever is put on our heart to give today, according to however we feel like we are blessed. So as we are preparing our hearts and our minds to give, you can give via Cash App. You can give via PayPal. You can even put your check in the mail, as many people do. Not only will you see things begin to open up in your life because you have now told the universe, I am not a holder. I am not operating in lack. I am operating in abundance. Whatever you see begin to manifest for you, know that it is simply because you put yourself in alignment today and you push past the fear of lack. Thoughts become things. Whatever you focus on is what you get. So I invite you into this moment of giving. in a very powerful way with us corporately around the world at Infinity Fellowship. We're going to open up those Cash Apps. We're going to open up those PayPals. We're going to open up the checkbooks, the money order notes to say, hey, go get that money order tomorrow, whatever it may be. We're going to open that up, and we're going to speak a very powerful blessing over it. This is an intentional way for us to give. So I want you to lay your hands on your phones, your wallets, your checkbooks, whatever you do to bless it, because we don't do hocus pocus superstitious around here. We do supernatural, which is super nature, charging our energy with intention. This is how we manifest. So I want you to take a deep breath and exhale. And I want you to repeat this after me. I give like the universe has given to me. I am a giver. This is why I receive joyously. All right, good. Now, let's turn our attention to our offertory affirmation as we prepare. Don't worry about Cash App and PayPal. Knowing where we are, we're going to put a slide up for you so that you can know exactly where we're going. And we're also going to sing as we give. And we don't sing from the, we're going to go get beat up if we don't give. We don't sing like that at Infinity. We sing that everything is good and that it is. Not everything's going to be good. It's everything is good. All right. It already is. Whatever you speak, it manifests. Practice it right now, Infinity. All right. Let's tell somebody that we're on. Let's take a deep breath. And let's turn our attention to our offertory affirmation, which is on the screen. O limitless, abundant creator, source of everything I possess. You have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. Yes. It's a simple song. Lady Kaditha's about to take us in. I want to hear y'all around the world. Come on, as we're thumbing. Let's do it.
Everything is good, you know. Everything is good. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, yeah. Everything is good. Yeah. Everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good.
aye, aye, aye. Offering time is so good at Infinity Fellowship, y'all. It is such a wonderful, wonderful time to pour back in. So if you're watching, even if you're watching on the replay, we understand that many of you catch Infinity after you get off work. We know that some of you catch Infinity after your own Sunday service, wherever that may be, and that's great too, because we love you too. We're part of your dual membership program. We love that here at Infinity Fellowship. And sometimes people watch us on trips, on their way, on a good journey, wherever you may be traveling, but you have an opportunity to pour in as well. So we want to thank you for all that you do to support your spiritual vibration in the universe, first and foremost. And we want to thank you for the secondary benefit of being able to help build an institution that is brick and mortar that will outlive us and also pour into people generationally. That's what offering is at Infinity, and it's a part of the celebration worship service. Every component part of this service is a part of worship and fellowship, and that's what we love about it. So thank you so much for being a partner at Infinity Fellowship, and thank you for saying that everything is good, and thank you for putting in your standing ovations. Speaking of which, it is time for us to go through a few announcements that we want to share with you about what's happening here at Infinity Fellowship, and this is your preparation moment for standing ovations. So look, I want you to share something awesome that has happened for you as a result of your spiritual practice. We have a link that is in the chat. We also have a QR code that can pop up on your screen in front of me somewhere. I might have the ethereal effect of you being able to scan your phone while I'm on the screen. As that is the case, we want to capture your standing ovation so that we can share your good news with the rest of the world. So make sure that you let us know what is going on with you in this right now moment. And that form will be filled out. It takes a couple of minutes to populate. So by all means, get that standing ovation in. That said, welcome to October, the 10th month in the year of divine development and the 11th anniversary of the Infinity Fellowship. We are so excited that you have been with us throughout this year as we are pressing on. As we used to say, Lady Kenitha, there was an old deacon used to say, I'm pressing on the upward way. Y'all don't know about that. That's Baptist. That's that old one. New Heights, come on now. Lady Kenitha's about to start preaching over there. She's about to start getting the Holy Ghost. But the year of divine development, we are 10 months in. We're in the fourth quarter now. And we are going to double and triple down on this understanding of who we are by our daily mantra that I am guided, I am powered by love and guided by vision. This is the year we continue to develop our personal and institutional infrastructure. So we're grateful for the opportunity to stand in community for spiritual growth. So you all, every committee that you served on here, every activity that you've been to, homecoming anniversary was amazing. We had a glitch with the tent and people found a way, got the tables in the courtyard, the food outside and the lines and everybody clean. It was beautiful. And that's what happens when you put infrastructure in place. And that's what happens when you're powered by love and guided by vision. So I invite you to take a deep breath and say that with me. I am powered by love and guided by vision. One more time. I am powered by love and guided by vision. And so it is. Before we get to that standing ovation moment, this is our third Sunday, and we want to let you know that our anniversary is this entire year, that this month's theme is this far, thus far. There ain't no stopping us now, which follows an empowering month for the love of God, G-O-D, last month. Our energy of gratitude today will utilize our own history and reflections that we've had over this 11-year journey to demonstrate proof in the God of your acceptance and understanding. Infinity is about SNAP, as we say at the beginning of service: spirituality, nurturing, action, and proof. You should be able to look back in your life and see proof. Over the course of 11 years, we've accumulated stories, testimonies, moments of reflection, and that informs every single Sunday message that we have for our anniversary month. So we want to let you know that this month is about keeping us in alignment, and the alignment that will make us unstoppable. Speaking of being unstoppable, I'm calling all new members right now. Get to this slide right now. Click on right now. This is your opportunity. This is your moment. We get started on Wednesday. You received an email if you filled out the visitors form, but even if you did not, I'm putting this in the chat right now. If you want to choose to join Infinity at this time, this is your portal, your moment to be a member of Infinity Fellowship. To be able to get access to our conversations, our book clubs, our ancient wisdom, everything that we do is part of Infinity. We're welcome to you right now. We're waiting for you right now. We start this Wednesday, October 22nd. I'm personally going to be teaching the class of new members, so I'm inviting you to join us. We'll have some special guests joining us on Wednesday night for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Just a couple of hours, we're going to get you ready. We're going to start diving into an ancient wisdom text from day one. It's going to be beautiful. So make sure that you hit that registration button. If you haven't done it already, this is the time for you to say, I knew it was something, Rev. I knew there was something I was supposed to do. This is it. Go ahead, get it done. Put it in the chat, and let's go from there. We will send you that energy so that you can register and join us for a new members class. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your designation, you don't have to fill out a letter. All you have to do, hit the registration link, and we'll send you the link to join us starting this Wednesday. Awesome. Here's your reminder that we do meet in person every first Sunday, virtually every other Sunday of the month. And of course, the wonderful activities that we have in between. We've got a few wonderful things that are brewing right now that we're pleased to announce really soon. But check your emails. We're also doing a walk next Sunday. We're going to talk about that when we come up for standing ovations so that you know what we're going to do here for Yoga Sunday. That said, next week is Yoga Sunday. Only at Infinity do we dedicate one Sunday in a month, to the renewal of our physical bodies, what we call here at Infinity your earth suit. Next week is going to be a powerful flow practice. We will be moving around, designed to make you remember those things that we have learned over the course of 11 years of doing Yoga Sunday. Who is insane enough to do yoga for church? Infinity Fellowship. We're going to continue to push the envelope, and we're going to invite you to join us here on the Infinite Life stream. And the yoga mat area has been cleaned off, so we have mats that have been cleaned are available. So, folks, if y'all want to join us in person next week for doing yoga, it may push me to go off the chain a little bit because, we have some extra bodies in here. Lisa and Kanitha usually with me and a couple of other people, and they just love to push the envelope. They push me to just say, hey, let's just keep going. Let's go crazy. So we might be able to go crazy next week. We'll send that in the band app for everybody else. But we do want you to join us because we have a special activity, especially after service next week, we're going to talk about. So shout out to that. Next reminder, to join the powerful conversations that have been going on midweek right inside our band app. And we say, what's the band app? That's how the members communicate. And those conversations are off the chain. Love and Light on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night, 7 p.m., hosted by Tyrell and Tashana Lindsley. That is a safe place where you get to unpack the messages and themes that we share here on Sunday. And you get to share what you think, what you feel, how you're getting these practices into your body and your mind and your spirit. And you do it in that safe place. That conversation has been taking place for quite some time, and you have that available to you. So don't forget, the way you do it, set your reminder on the phone, 6:55. And the reason why I say don't set it for 7 is because if you get there at 7, you're going to be a little behind because every Wednesday they start on time. And if you get a little behind, don't be intimidated. If you're at work or running behind, just put it on, click on it, get in the background, join when you can. It's a phenomenal space. So shout out to Love and Light with the Linsleys. That is each and every week. We want to send you that love. So that being said, now let's bring back up Lady Kenitha Carr because it is time for standing ovation.
Tune your vibration to a high elevation. It's time for the good news, our standing ovation.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're looking very, very tan and reddish. And
Well, yes. I had a sunburn moment, but we can talk
Well,
about
yeah,
that later.
I would say sun
Our
kiss.
Our high energy at IF comes from our practice of snap. It's why we snap our fingers during this part of the service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys. That's spirituality. We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and actually apply it in our lives. That is action. And so if we do this every week, then we see examples of that progress in our lives. And y'all, that's the proof.
Yes.
Yes. So at this moment, let's pause to enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and expansion. So what will happen is your name will be called and we will read aloud your manifestation and then we'll affirm them with a snap. But then at the very end, we get to participate in a collective standing ovation because of all that's been going on.
Yes, because of all of the good things,
Yes.
because of the good things that have happened in our world. This is a place that is unique to Infinity Fellowship, and so we love to share in this powerful way. So the first standing ovation we have is for Sister Christina Trotter. Christina Trotter is sharing. She says, I am grateful for another birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I have grown so much spiritually. I feel so much love for my Infinity family and for strangers that I encounter. I am in alignment to start a community effort which will be a blessing to everyone. Thank you, God. You are awesome. Christina Trotter, that powerful prayer warrior. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Man, it's great. Have another year in there.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, next ovation goes to Brother Terrence Brown.
Terrence.
As we continue to practice our faith and trust in God, we are steadily being reminded that He got us.
Yes.
My experiment with testing the waters with W-2 work on the side was renewed with a major client that I've been blessed to work with. The original agreement was set to end in November and has now been extended to May. Thank you, Jesus. We got to thank too. We sending it in there. Dun, dun. Yeah. She done shouted the coffee out my cup. How about that? There's lots of abundance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at that.
Congratulations.
That's
boy.
alignment. When you practice alignment, man.
Yes, yes.
TNT, y'all know, man, when
that
y'all do
faith,
that faith and that energy and just pushing and practicing and continuing to stay focused on faith, that energy is going to manifest in a powerful way. I send a shout out, standing ovation to the Jarman and City families for the marriage again of Brother Dr. Paris Jarman and Sister Brittany City, the opportunity now that they have gone on their honeymoon. They are doing what young couples do, which is traveling the world in love. We send you a shout out as I not share your business because people don't need to know where you are, when you are, and all of that. But it's a beautiful thing to see that people come together, put their families together. So that wedding and everyone that participated in it to bring it in a powerful way to fruition, congratulations. We send you love. And that is some kind of standing ovation. Love to be able to support these families. Y'all send me a picture because we got a board that is growing out in the lobby of couples that we've married and families that we put together, naming ceremonies that we've done for your young people, all of that. Thank you cards from transitions when we get to transition and help you when loved ones move forward. That's what community does, y'all. So we have an absolute opportunity to say thanks today, and so we do. We also want to shout out the coordinators of a walk that are happening next week. Tell us
Yes.
about this, Lady Kanita.
So, shout out to the Health and Wellness and Community Service Committee. So, we've been planning, and they were able to put something together for us to have a hike, which will be next week after Yoga Sunday. If you don't come for Yoga Sunday, we will meet here around 12:30, and then just follow over to Fontanelle, I believe, for the walking trails. But we are very excited about that. We also have another community service event that will be happening in November that with more details. But next week, get your total package, okay? So
Come
if
in,
you
warm
are
up,
in
Yoga Sunday.
person,
Come
come
on.
on and participate in Yoga Sunday, and then definitely come through and follow us over there to go on the walk.
Yeah.
And if you're online, we still look forward to just seeing you online for yoga, but maybe there's someplace in your community that
Yoga
you could
Sunday,
decide
just go
to
out and walk.
go and take a
Yes,
walk.
take a walk and know that we are
somewhere.
with you
Yes.
at Infinity Fellowship, because a walk is not going to hurt you.
No.
A walk is going to keep your endorphins flowing. So tomorrow, next week is Walk Sunday. We're going to do yoga here, infinitely and in person.
Yes.
And then 12:30, meet up, hit that walk, and call it a day. So are we walking to Fontanelle from here, or we're meeting up?
No, we're meeting here
Y'all
to
ain't- y'all
drive
don't want to walk
by-
to Fontanelle? Ain't about what?
okay,
About 4 miles?
over there.
Okay.
No.
Let's walk
Okay,
those 4
this is
miles.
not warrior mode. Okay, we're gonna drive over there together. There we go.
Okay, we're going. Before we do the standing ovations clap, it's funny because Terrence had a second part that I just saw. The other day, someone at the gym asked me if I was always this happy, to which I responded, why, yes, I have many settings, but happy is the most common one, as I'm blessed. The answers, the prayers that I've been praying, asking to be a light in the spaces I'm in, and remembering that each day we're given is a blessing.
Yeah.
It is, literally. And Terrence, we affirm that, and here at Infinity we say that. Why y'all happy? Why y'all always? Well, why not? What's the alternative? You get to choose how you move through the world today. So even if you're struggling with something, you get to choose how you're going to struggle with it. Do you become a joyful participant in that struggle, or do you become a woe is me participant? Here's a hint. You become woe is me, you're going to create more woe is you. So let's move that energy toward being a light. And sometimes a light, when you're in the darkness, it can make people a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
Really, because if you've been operating in darkness and you flick a light switch on, what do people do? Whoa, hey, So it can be the same way until they look around and say, oh, it's actually beautiful in here.
Yes.
Thank you for turning the light on. So continue to be a light, y'all. Standing ovations. Thank you. What do we do now, Mama?
All right. So if we shared, you're going to have several seats while the rest of us are going to stand to our feet and give a thunderous standing ovation. Okay? Here we go. So it is spoken, and so it's received, and so it is.
All right, let us turn to our portal on Infinity for today's meditation. Dr. Courtney Williams is bringing that to us, and we will turn it over to her as we prepare for the conversation today. Today's download in the Infinity Fellowship. Get your pens, get your screenshot ready for today's meditation. Hey, Courtney.
Good morning. Good morning, Infinity. So today's meditation comes from the Indian author Jiddu Krishnamurti, who teaches to understand truth, one must have a very sharp, precise, clear mind. Not a cunning mind, but a mind that is capable of looking without any distortion. A mind innocent and vulnerable. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Let's turn our attention and intention to the spiritual download with Rev Jeff and Lady Kanitha Carr.
All right, thank you, Sister Courtney. I hope we got that energy in there, that we know what we're looking to do, that we know where we're looking to do it and how we're looking to do it as we sit in community today. Lady Kanitha, I've been feeling sentimental. Every If Teaches, we start with singing a bit of a song that is important to us, that has been a song that we've been singing since the beginning. We just get a little verse in and I don't get my tambourine, we get going. But we invite you to just put yourself in the mindset of If Teaches, y'all. We're going to talk to y'all. I am going to task you today. Spirit is going to task you today to share in the chat. So we need your energy to share in the chat because this is an interactive moment of reflection. So as we are interactively reflecting today, we're going to invite you to join us wherever you are in your best church voice, in your best deacon voice, in your best mother's voice, wherever it is. We want you to just sing a little bit with us as we vibrate our frequency and change the vibration of our frequency toward inclusivity and love. Come and go to that land. Why don't you come and go to that land? Why don't you come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound? Why don't you come and go to that land? Come and go to that land. Why don't you come and go to that land where I'm bound? Oh, nothing but wisdom is in that land. Oh, nothing but wisdom in that land. Oh, nothing but wisdom is in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Oh, nothing but wisdom in that land. There's nothing but wisdom in that land. I said nothing but wisdom is in that land where I'm bound. Oh, all of my people are in that land. Oh, all of my people are in that land. Oh, all of my people, they're in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. All of my people are in that land. All of my people are in that land. Oh, all of my people are in that land where I'm bound. Oh, there is joy in that land. Oh, there is joy in that land. Y'all, there is joy in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I say there is joy in that land. There is joy in that land. Y'all, there is joy in that land where I'm bound. Oh, there is peace in that land. Oh, there is peace in that land. Oh, there is peace. It's in that land where I'm bound. Oh, there is peace in that land. Oh, there is peace in that land. Well, there is peace in that land where I'm bound. Oh, don't you want wanna go with me to that land? Hey, don't you wanna go with me to that land? Yo, don't you wanna go with me to that
land?
Oh, where I'm bound, oh, where I'm bound, oh, don't you wanna go with me to that land? Don't you wanna go with me to that land? Yo, don't you wanna go with me to that land? Where I'm, oh Lord, where I'm bound, oh Lord, where I'm bound. Inhale and exhale. As we sit in this silence, as we sit in this discovery, as we sit in this remembrance, as we sit in this good, we speak that the words going forward, that the revelations coming out, that all of this energy speaks to a space of alignment, that someone there, out there, will be touched, will be lifted, will be centered, will be loved. We proclaim these things toward the good. And so it is. Amen and Ashe. Ah. Lady Kenitha, standing on the promises. Standing on the promises. Somebody in the chat, we're going to get this started right, get this party started right. You let them know that today's topic is standing on the promises. Do you remember that song? Did y'all sing that in the AME church? We used to sing a song. Standing on the promises of Christ, my Lord. You remember that? Or was another one? Standing, standing, standing on the promises. You don't remember that? What was yours?
I am standing on the promises of Jesus.
And I know,
and I'll
they'll
never let me down.
Yeah. God said he would be there. My God is everywhere. God said, I believe, God said, I believe, I'm gonna take him at his word. Hey, I am standing on the promises of Jesus. Oh, we'll get going. Somebody out there go, oh, y'all, man, I love it. Well, I'm glad this ain't first Sunday. We'll be running around in this place right now. I think about the song that many of us have sung. You sung it here at Infinity, even the song that Donnie McClurkin popularized was Stand.
Yes.
What do you do when you've done all you can and seems like it's never enough? And you got to, what do you say when your friends turn away and you're all alone, all alone? And that concept is you stand. Standing is an ancient concept. When we think about that, if you've ever had the occasion to, and I know some of you in the chat have, to go or to study, there's a concept of being raised that we see in not just Masonic literature, ancient wisdom literature, but we see it physically in the depictions in places like Kemet, where you see that there is a body that is laid at rest, that is flat at 180 degrees. That symbolizes a death state. And if you want to know deeper what that means, consider what you rose from today. Last night, you went into a form of death. You went into a place of tuning out from this conscious world into a place of tuning into the subconscious. And if you were active and you had a spiritual practice that told you that what you do and what you think about before you go to sleep is what your subconscious mind begins to work on, Joseph Murphy, Power of Your Subconscious Mind, then you put something good into it. Or you had some pizza and a couple of chocolate chip cookies left over from the game, and you may have had some interesting chemical interactions with your third eye last night that made you wake up and say, what in the world is the universe trying to tell me? And it may be that the universe isn't trying to tell you anything other than watch your diet before you go to sleep, or your body and your mind are going to act a fool. These are simple things. But if you reach this concept where you are prone and you are asleep, that is a state of death. And then you rose to 90 degrees. standing on the square, which is what they say in Masonic literature. That means that you rose from a death state to a living state. And that living state is embodied in the statues of 1 foot forward and standing upright. When you look at ancient statues, you look at civilizations and temples, Luxor, Karnak, Edfu, wherever you find statues, if the statue of the pharaoh, the god, the goddess, the energy, the human being is standing upright, hands to the side with 1 foot forward, that is a state of being alive. It is a state of standing. And today, since you are up, even though you are seated, I am seated, but I am standing. Because we are standing on business today. And our business today is to encourage you that even though you're sitting, even though you're standing, even though you're kneeling in meditation, even though you're holding a pose, that you are standing on a promise. Now, the real question is, what is the promise? Somebody in the chat say, what's the promise? What is the promise? You see, we have reached a place of transition, and I want to briefly, I'm not going to stay on this too long because I really do want to shift this energy into the chat because y'all are participating today in an exercise that we have evolved over the course of the years at Infinity, Lady Kenitha. We have evolved this energy into a communal voice of teaching where we can get wisdom. So y'all, we're here. But when we are actively asleep, and not woke, and I don't mean, we're not giving up that word, right? We're not giving that up because some people who thought they were allies decided that they wanted to take the word, and then the people who were against those people, they want to use it as something that's pejorative or negative. We're not giving it up because the opposite of woke is what? Sleep. And we're not going to be sleep. You're not going to be sleep spiritually. Today, you're being called on to wake up spiritually. So when you wake up spiritually, you take a stand. Now, what does this look like? We must look at the inner essence of what it means to take a stand, because the stand is for, not against. Somebody put that. The stand is for, not against. I'm going to jump on the chat in a minute because I need to see what y'all are talking about. And thank you, Lady Kenitha, for allowing the spirit to flow here. And then you are going to give me some questions and ask me some things that that are going to clarify and unpack this more. The stand is for, not against. And in this case, we talk about what's happening now in the world. We're very relevant here. We try to be relevant with what's happening and also give us perspective. So when we talk about now, there was no kings rallies that were held all over the United States and perhaps the world yesterday. Millions of people in the streets everywhere saying that we are not going to allow our government to move into a place of fascism. We're not going to move into a place of authoritarianism. We are going to work toward what can also be part of the mythos of living in America, this ideal of a democratic society. And yet people stood. They took a stand. And when you say that, you can say, I took a stand against people who want to be kings, or I took a stand for democracy. Do you understand the different energy? So you can take a stand against hate, or you can take a stand for love. When you're standing for, the energy is regenerative. It is replenishing. What do you stand for? What do you stand for? The reason why I'm pausing so much, it's intentional because Spirit wants you to get used to not hearing people talk all the time. We live in a world right now where entertainment is the order of the day. First 15 minutes, first 10 minutes of a live stream, if there isn't a lot of entertaining going on, people tend to click it off. And they continue to click and search until they say, ooh, that looks good right there. Wah, 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 wah. Why? Because they're being presented with something. When we take a stand, We are saying, what am I for, as opposed to what am I against? The universe is for me. Everybody say that. Type that in the chat. The universe is for me. How would you like it if the universe was against you? I mean, literally. I can't tell you that the universe is against you, because it's not. It is for you. Even if it simply delivered you, my friend, to this chat today, if it delivered you to this conversation, it delivered you to this healing today, if it delivered you to the realization that being the person in the room that brings the light is not a bad thing. Even if it's something as simple as that, it is something that is affirmative and it's beautiful. So we have to break ourselves, because in every other area, we are being presented with things. And when we are presented with shiny things, we end up losing focus on what we are actually for. So we don't want to be against something. We can find the for in it. I'm against hate, or I'm for love. And by being for love, here's how we attract people. When I get asked people, this was with this Infinity Fellowship, 11 years y'all been doing this. I want to come visit, but what's your status what's your status on gay people? What's your status on people who are same sex? I said, what do you mean your status? We are an inviting community for all. And so, well, I went to that too, but I heard somebody saying we're welcome to everybody, but then I got there and everybody was very friendly. And then the person who was in the leadership position began to attack me. And I felt as if everything that I was being destroyed. And I apologize, because people come to Infinity because they've experienced trauma in places like that. And I said, well, they say, are you against discrimination? And I say, no. And it shocks people. Well, oh, so you're just like the rest of them. No. Why would I be against discrimination when I'm for love? So when we say that we are affirming of who you are, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic background, all are welcome at Infinity. That's on those slides at the beginning, statement of infinitude. It is there, over 11 years on the website. That's what it is. How can I make time to start shifting in my mind to what I'm against? In other words, we are all spirits navigating the human experience. Period. That's what we're for. And when we say that, you can say it with a smile on your face, and it is a genuine smile. If you're against, you have to make an accommodation. This is where tolerance comes. I've said it a lot over 11 years. I will continue to say it. And if you say, well, Rev, I've heard you say that before. You doggone right. You've heard me say that before. You've also heard me saying hello and good morning before. You've also heard me say, hey, anything you need, let me know. You've heard that before. People don't get tired of that. So we got to reinforce these teachings. We got to reinforce this energy. And so I ask you, would you rather be tolerated or affirmed? Because people who are against you will tolerate you. You got that family member, you know that if they come, they're bringing those kids, and you don't necessarily love those kids, but you tolerate them because of the family member. You're like, Lord, here they come. Oh, my God. I want them, but I don't want the kids. And I'm speaking to somebody. I don't know who it is, but we all have had experiences like that. And we say, man, if they could just tighten those kids up, whatever it is, but we tolerate them. But then you wonder why those kids like to go to grandmama's house. Because grandmama, and they don't tear up grandmama's house. They don't act bad around grandmama. They don't go and disrespect you, find them running outside, setting off firecrackers. They don't do all of that at grandmama's house. Why? Because grandmama loves them. She doesn't tolerate them. She says, when you say, well, I'm having a hard time, just bring them over here, baby. Just drop them off over here. If you don't, just drop. Y'all go on and do what you're going to do. Drop them off over here. And they always want to go to grandmama's house or granddaddy's house, if you got that energy, because they have learned that when you love somebody unconditionally, you are for them and not against them. So the universe is for you. The God of your acceptance and understanding is ultimately for you. If so, why create you? Why create you? And I don't mean leaning into the egotist part that we inflict and that we overlay on the concept of God. We're talking about this divine essence of who we are and how we are. So we have to look at how we present things versus how we represent things. First point that I want y'all to get. The first question that we get to reconcile today when we talk about standing on the promise, because the promise is long life. The promise is love. The promise is abundance. The promise is connectivity. The promise is alignment. Find whatever scripture that you've got. It is there. You can take the energy of a scripture from the Bible that says, I can do all things through Christ, which gives me strength. And if you are not focused on being confident in the things you do, then you're lying. You're simply presenting the concept of Christ, but you're not representing the concept of Christ. The first question we must reconcile is not how we present God, not how we present the universe, not how we present our ancestors, but how we represent them. Present or represent? Somebody add that to the chat because I can't see right now, but I'm going to in a minute. Present or represent? Which one would you do? Because if I'm here to present, I'm going to show up in all my boldness. And now there's this epic wave. It's like Sister Kenitha, it's this epic wave of people. And I suppose that it goes with a parallel if I were to talk about what has happened with technology and the ability to give every single person in the world a microphone, whether they're trained with the responsibility of knowing what that entails or not. But it has come at a cost of every single person contributing their perspective into the world, beautiful on some levels, but there is this wave of accusations against everybody else of having something called false doctrine. And I used to hear that in church. We used to hear that when I was hanging with my Muslim friends, infidels and everyone is always talking about false doctrine. And ironically, people who have the exact same book, same chapter, same verses, are accusing everybody else who is not in the building with them of having false doctrine. They are standing against false doctrine when the reality is, if you're standing for sound doctrine, which is not what indoctrinates you, but what creates a spiritual practice that produces fruit in your life, then you're standing as a representation of the doctrine, so that you don't have to present that you're right and everybody else is wrong. I can do all things through Christ. What does Christ mean? Christ means anointed. That means that each and every one of us has an anointing inside of us. Each and every one of us has a Christ inside of us. That means that if we tap into that which is within, we will demonstrate that without. So we got to stop presenting and start representing. I don't care which books you can quote, because in many ways we operate communally as a part of the mystic tradition, divine connection with spirit, divine connection with source. It's yours if you choose it, or you can choose to become a master of doctrine. You can become a master of the words. You can become a master of the scriptures. We become this, but oftentimes, and again, I'm not against anybody. I'm talking about being for the energy that produces fruit in your life, standing on the promise that what you align in your mind, one promise that we know from the law of attraction, what you allow into your mind takes root and it becomes fruit. The root becomes fruit. Put it in there, Infinite Life Streamers. I want to see this thing lit up. The root becomes fruit. I'm just the way I am. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I can't ever seem to get my mind wrapped around all these things I know God has for me to do. Yes, you're right. You can't seem to. I just don't know what I'm going to do. You're absolutely right. You don't know. I can never find people who want to support me. You're absolutely right. You can never find people. I'm going to affirm it with you because I'm going to be the voice of the universe and affirm it with you because you doggone said it, you doggone felt it, and doggone it, you going to manifest it, baby. Who am I to stand between you and your own arguing for your own limitations? Who am I? I can only say what you say, what you think, what you do manifests, because that becomes the root and the root becomes the fruit. So you can't be angry if when I listen to you and I hear you and I say, yes, you're right. And you say, I need something to get me out of this rut. You surely do. I agree. Until you finally trigger, it hits you. You're like, why am I having all of this negative, limiting talk about myself? Self-talk. All of this is, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And I affirm with you, yes, why are you doing this? Oh, I'll make you mad. If you really want to grow, I'm gonna make you mad. And that's it. The degree to which you grow is the degree to which you stop being mad at me for repeating what you say and do to you. I'm not telling you anything different than what you said. I just can't seem to find the time to pour into that which I know Spirit has given me. You're right. You just can't seem to find the time to pour into what Spirit has given to you. Why would you attack me like that? Why would I attack you? Only thing I'm doing is reflecting what God is feeling, the universe is feeling as well. But when you change that to, regardless of my circumstance, I make time for the things that are important to me. I get to control my attitude when I approach a problem. I trust that I am operating in good intention. You hear how that sounds? That's for. That's not against. Stop being against yourself. Stop thinking about how you present God, how you present your ancestors, and how you represent your ancestors. It's not in the beads you wear. It's not in the way you wrap your head. It's not in the way you dress. It's not in the books that you hold up. It's not in your expertise. It's not in your degrees. It's in how you see your life working in a better way. I wouldn't have to leave the scriptures for that. Let your light so shine in you that men will see your good works and give praise to the Father that's in heaven. In this case, in that masculine identifying understanding of the lens, we get it. But your father or your mother, God, in other words, you are a representative. So if you're happy, if you're joyful, if you're peaceful, if you're there, yes, it comes to you. If you're speaking death, if you're always criticizing, if you're always attacking, that speaks that too. So make the shift right now. Secondly, I'm giving you. When we're fixated, because this is what happens in the world, when we're fixating on presenting God to others, we relapse into the performative. I don't want anybody to know that I'm struggling. I don't want anybody to know that I'm not perfect. I don't want anybody to know that sometimes I have intense fellowships with my spouse and friends. I don't want anybody to know this. I'm going to pretend that I got it all under control all the time. How's that working for you psychologically? How's that helping you sleep at night? It may not be. Especially when we are in the act of presenting that everything is well without doing the work to truly operate in the place of wellness. Now get this, I'm going to give you these two words because these are opposites when we're talking about spirituality and standing on those things which have been promised, that you can do all things, that energy is there, that you are a divine representation and manifestation of all creation. When we fixate on presenting God, that's the performative. When we focus on representing God, spirit, ancestors, not embarrassing your folks, standing strong, we move into the restorative. Performative or restorative. Performative drains you because you always trying to be on. Restorative renews you because you are operating from the place of flow and abundance. You are continually full and continuing to give to others based on the overflow. Now, let me stop because I can feel there's always an energy somewhere out there in the space that said, this is why I'm cutting everybody off. I'm going to focus just on me. This is why I'm doing all my self-care. This is why I'm getting rid of all the toxic people. We start using all that language that isolates us. Listen, you don't go to the extreme. You find the places that restore you. This is what I love. This is what I'm teaching starting Wednesday, new members class, that there's this energy where you allow yourself to be poured into, you give from the overflow, but you are conscious that you are also moving in a place that is restorative. When you show up to infinity, it should be restorative experience. And if it's not, please tell me or tell Lady Kenitha. If you walk in the door and everybody being friendly is getting on your nerves, if you walk in the door and people saying everything is good and something inside you is saying, but everything is bad. If the coffee being hot and the tea being hot and the views of the woods and the people being friendly, if all that is giving you a struggle, then God, by all means, talk to me. And being even more serious, though, if the energy you come in and meet is not energy that lifts you vibrationally, I'll ask, why do you go to a community? If you walk in and everything is condemnation, guess what your vibration is going to be? Condemnation. Then you are locked in a prison vibration of condemnation. And then what you do, in order to feel like you're a part of the community, you go out and condemn others. And you seek to find flaws in other people because that's the model that you're now working on. You're working on the performative against model instead of the restorative for. I am in the restorative for. Thank you, Spirit. So as we are in the restorative for, I'm going to invite you into a communal aggregation because we're going to provide restoration in real time to each other via this chat. As we go through this, we really want to unpack this in a powerful way. Lady Kenitha, you got some notes, answer some questions because I'm about to unleash this spiritual exercise on everybody. We're going to participate and we're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. Let's do it. Something came up for you, too. I know your revelations will come in real time, too.
Man.
Come on.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say what I wrote before you had stated what some things were.
Okay, good.
Because I think
and people
that
in the chat, put your
what
questions in because I'm about to turn into the chat right now.
You know, and you can give some feed on that more in depth. I wrote, the universe is always a yes. And that was coming from, you know, I don't know who I was listening to, but they were talking about the fact that we can't forget that the universe is always a yes.
Always a yes.
In every situation, the universe is always a yes. And that was very revealing to me on understanding how the universe flows, right? We, in our mind, would think, again, going back to the for and against, but the universe is operating from a place of just yes, you know, whatever it is, and so it is, and so it is. It's always, and so it is. There's not a, oh, maybe, but and so it is. And then I wrote, it's about the root. And that was when you said the root becomes fruit.
Oh, that's why you laughed.
That's why, because I'd put it's about the root going back to the for and against, because there's a root element that's underlying everything that we say in the affirmative, or we think that's in the affirmative. There is a root cause for what it is that we're saying. There's a root feeling for what it is that we're, you know, connecting to. And so then when you had talked about being, are we presenting or representing? And I had heard heard something today about AI and it being a companion, and there's for especially for young people, that there is some concern that that young people are relying on AI as if it is an actual companion.
Yes.
And so they're developing feelings for the artificial intelligence as if it's a friend, like
Yes.
how I,
You start to talk to it.
you start to talk,
therapy,
and you're
they're using it as a
developing,
therapist.
yes,
They generate a therapist and
developing,
which is
and
impossible.
so I put present, or you're presenting or representing, but then I put presenting means artificial intelligence, and then representing means it's just intelligence. You take the artificial out, it's intelligence, and the intelligent companion, who is source, God. And so you start to dive into what is your companion, because I put on the side, if it's artificial, it acts based on what it is fed. Artificial means that it's only doing what it is fed.
And it's manufactured.
It's presenting.
And it's presenting. Exactly.
So
some things that are fit that are presented as real are artificial.
Yes.
In everything,
Yes.
video and everything else that's
Yes.
done, it's AI generated, which means it is
Yes.
something that is not. Yes.
So that's the conversation of what,
That's good.
you know, because here's real life moment. I can testify even from yesterday. My hair is wonderful. Kai, thank you, because Kai did my hair again.
Standing ovation.
She
Kai.
did her doggone thing. But I was in one of those modes of just not feeling good about myself. I said I got sunburned. You know, I was out there at the parade and my face, and there was just so much happening in my mind mentally. And here's the other side of the balance. You know, for women, we do have those moments where we self-doubt. You know, you don't feel like you just. So I go to you, and I was just like Eeyore, I just don't look cute.
We
And
go
you
through this
said-
real life, real talk. Thank you, real
And
talk.
so I was, well, you were like, yes, and you are. And I was like, why would you, why would you say that? And I walked out, right? And I was like, oh, but no, because it dawned on me that was exactly everything that I was projecting out. And the universe is a yes. It doesn't determine the feelings. It doesn't determine what my intention is. The universe was always a yes. And that moment, so that's why I was laughing again when you had brought that up. You know, I was like, oh, in real time, I'm hearing how the universe or how God is. Yes. Okay. Yes.
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 And so it is, you know.
And so it is. And the universe is a yes. This is what's important for us right now, because we're doing this. And I know I can feel the journal notes being written right now, the revelations that are going on. This is one of those messages which you have to download and begin to ask those questions. But the universe is a yes. Everything in the universe is a yes. When Stephen Hawking and other scientists, they postulated and hypothesized about the existence of black holes in the universe, people are like, oh, no, wait, well, that's a concept that's kind of out there. But no, mathematically, they calculated that these things were possible. So when you talk about a black hole that swallows up everything around it, we can't fully study. If you were to encounter a black hole, the density of a black hole, of course, is so dense you can't calculate it. But the gravity well, you would be sucked into it. So you would say, if I'm traveling through space, and when we reach the point where we can go hyperspeed and warp speed, and we can fold and bend time and space so that we can travel light years and get to everything that we wanted to get to, and vice versa, people can get to us, whatever it may be. You look at a black hole and say, oh, it's terrible. We got to avoid the black holes because the black holes are against us. Are the black holes against you? No, the black holes are for gravity. The black hole is saying yes. Come near me. I will introduce you to answer the question that you've been wanting to answer. What is happening when you get past the event horizon on a black hole? I will teach you that lesson. Come, I am a yes. Come, all of ye that are weary, heavy laden, I will give you rest. That is the universe saying to you, I am being a yes. So it goes into what you were saying, and that's the difference between artificial intelligence and authentic intelligence. Still AI. Which AI do you want to experience? Do you want to experience artificial intelligence or authentic intelligence? Because if you want to experience artificial intelligence, buddy, we can grow this thing overnight. We can pick one single lane. We can come in here and expend all our resources on the greatest musicians in the universe. We can go and add 50 million more spotlights. I can add an LED wall. I think the technology is cool because I love technology. We can do all of that. And we can do dolly shots and overhead drone shots, and we can entertain the crap out of you. We can artificially create an experience that is so performative that you will love it. Both of us have backgrounds in theater, so we know how to do it. If you've ever seen one of my productions, from Nativity to Before the People Came to any one of the 7 or 8 plays that have been How Black Can I Be, whatever it may be, you have seen some presentation that is awe-inspiring. I've got lighting directors and sound people who can blow your mind so that we can present you with something. And the fact is that we have an authentic story, so that helps with that. There's nothing to take away from that. But the reality is you can have a ton of artificial intelligence that generates an authentic feeling experience. But the way you know that it is not authentic is that it doesn't stick with you. That when you leave it, you feel like you got to keep going back to it so you can stay high. They call that dope. They call that drugs. And you think about it, artificial intelligence is creating that state. Like you said with our children, people are feeling suicidal. Artificial intelligence as programmed is spitting back to you an affirmation that is sending you further down. That is replacing an authentically intelligent person with somebody who is artificial. Artificial enough to not, when you say you are contemplating self-harming yourself, to not direct you and guide you toward someone that can help you, or to pause and call the suicide line and say, hey, we need to send somebody over here for a wellness check. Because that person is not authentic, it's artificial, then what happens is the artificial person, when you program that energy in, they help you write the doggone suicide note, which sadly happened with ChatGPT. And a mother's making a lawsuit there. That there should be some control on this. This is how deeply we can get into a space when we are expecting things to present instead of represent. Needless to say, dare I sound on the brink of accusing other spiritual spaces of false doctrine, because that's the last thing I'm going to do. I always just want to ask, how is it showing up in your life? How is it working for you? That's the difference between artificial intelligence and authentic intelligence, which exists inside of all of us. And given this, we are the ones who are prompting the AI in itself. We're the ones who are asking and seeking the questions. We're seeking something external, so guess what? We'll get it returned to us because it's all based on the questions you ask. It's the same with authentic intelligence, with the God of your acceptance and understanding. It's all based on the questions you ask.
Yes, and your connection.
And what do you want to know? How much bandwidth do you need to connect authentically? How many books do you have to read? I was having a wonderful conversation. Shout out to Brother Tyrell the other night. We were having this conversation around the energy of being deep, and how many books we should read and how much. The question answered is, how deep is it? Well, how deep do you want to go? That's what came up. How deep do you want to go? Because when you're dealing with something that is presentational, that is performative, you never get enough. You go from this book to the next book. You go from that book to another book. You go from one conference to another conference. You go from that conference to a third conference. You go from this degree to the next degree, to the degree after that. You go through all of these machinations, and then you ask the question, have I still authentically connected to what I'm supposed to be doing on this planet? And that's when it hits you. That spirit is speaking to you in the quiet places. So the distractions of what I need to go forward dissipate when you have a conscious understanding that you have within you all that you need. You were born with it. It was given to you. That's why knowledge, from the root word gnosis, Gnosis, that is an internal concept. What we're doing now, as we educate ourselves even spiritually, we're not programming you with doctrine. We are opening you to that which already lies within. It is an expanding of your consciousness and your education. The process of education is to release the soul from the fetters of the physical body, according to the mysteries of the 10 virtues. But the reality is also, it is to bring that which is within without. Anyone who studies education knows it's not to program you, it's to free you. It's not to teach you how to be a performer. It's to teach you how to represent. So what you representing today? Do you want to represent that which is within you? Because you see, based on the root that you put in your mind, what the fruit will going to be. And the fruit is going to be how you move into the world, how you show up at work, how you show up at the gym, how you show up with your children and your family. How do you show up with your friends? How do you show up with your art that you say you are committed to? How do you show up in your movement? How do you show up with the way that you move and navigate through the world? How do you show up when you encounter a long line? Lord have mercy, I encountered some long lines this weekend. It's TSU's homecoming. Lady Kenitha and I went down to the stadium. We got some tickets and were gifted to us. Shout out. We're thankful for that. Her purse was 1 inch bigger than that little drawing on that table. And the poor lady couldn't make an exception. She said, there's a place you can check it. We said, where is it? Oh, it's just the next gate over. The devil's a liar. It wasn't no next gate over. It was about 2 gates over, west side, east side of the stadium. We had to walk, find the truck there, get the bag in the locker, do all of that, miss the first quarter, all of that, did all of that stuff, had to go on this long journey. But it was how we showed up. The bag was 1 inch too big. And we started talking on the way over. We were like, you know what, we need to think about, we need to double check to make sure that we know what's going on before. And we get there, we lock it up, we come back, and then we had the most delightful conversation at the end of the game when there were 4 bags left, and our bags was one of them, but with the people who actually took the bags. Friendly, laughing, handing out. Lady Kenitha handed out some mints. There was a line of people getting their bags in, and she said, I gotta take my mints. I don't have any pockets. I gotta turn them in. Anybody want a mint before I go in? It was like mint. She was just passing them down the line. Mints for everybody. Mints for all. Open the coffers of the kingdom. Mints for everyone. Everybody in that line will remember the lady who gave out them mints at the TSU homecoming locker. Congratulations. You go down into the core memories of somebody who you never know. But again, you could have been funk lady, gone and complained about everything that the rules say for safety. You could have done all of that, but it's how you approach each and every moment that determines if you're going to present or represent. Because I'm going to tell you what happens when you present. When you present the image in the stage and performative way, and then you go backstage, and somebody who works, I've done this in theater, I've toured the country and some places the world to do this. When you're performing and then you come off stage, the greatest honor that you can have is, even if you're on stage playing and presenting the lives of 7 or 8 different characters. If I'd done a one-man show, there was one show I played 17 characters. Another one I played 11. When you do that, the greatest compliment for me was not that people really fully enjoyed the presentation that they had, but it was when my agent called me and said, listen, man, they want to have you come back. because the people backstage who were working in the crew said they've never had people as nice as you and the people that you were working with to them. From the stage hands to the people who loaded the truck, to the people who pressed the clothes, to the people who climbed a 40-foot raggedy ladder and adjusted the spotlight because your stage manager asked them if it would be possible to cover stage right. All those people said you and your crew treated us with dignity and respect. So it's about how do you make people feel. I want you to put that in the chat right now so that anybody reading this can see it. Share it, hit the like button. How do I make people around me feel? I want you to let that sit in. How do I make people around me feel? When I encounter them, will they say I am a being of love? Will they say that when they attempt to do things that I cheerlead them? If there are things that they do to offend me, will I be honest with them and tell them that I'm saying this from a place of love because I am for our relationship, not against it? These are the questions that I'm inviting you to answer. So let's light up this chat a little bit, y'all, before we get on out of here. If you have a question, because I know this stuff is not always easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Ask the people who are building the tallest skyscraper in downtown Nashville right now. Ask them how easy that joint's going to be. But when you're taking a selfie with it in the background, you're going to say, oh, this is so beautiful. But everybody who was building on that thing is going to tell you it was a long and arduous process, but we were glad to do it because we had a vision. We had an infrastructure. We had a plan. We had a development process that told us everything we'd anticipate and prepared us for the things we could not. Sort of like 2025, the year of divine development. We're going to have some rough spots, but we are moving through it with joyful participation. So if you have a question that is in there, I want you to put it into the chat right now, and then I'm going to invite you into a communal aggregation. We're going to provide restoration live in real time. We got a 5-minute exercise. Then we go Q&A. So I want you to look at your life circumstances. I want you to look at your life circumstances, and I want you, no matter what your age was or is right now, I want you to list something that you came through. I want you to list a circumstance that you came out on the other end of. And I want y'all to be as transparent as possible because, again, I don't have you in the place with me. You know, if I'm in the place with me, I'm going to put the mic in your face. But I want you to tell me something that you overcame in your life. Tell me an obstacle that you now look at and say, I came through it. I don't care what it could be. It could be simple young people as I really felt that I was struggling in math and I needed to be able to pass this test, and I ended up with a 90. Or I thought I would pass this class, and it turns out that I needed to make an 85 to pass, and I made an 85.2. Whatever it may be, I lost my house and got it back. I had a car repossessed. I had a person leave me down. If you will be transparent in this moment right now and share some obstacle that you have overcome, I want you to share that in the chat right now. Share an obstacle that you have overcome. And I got a slight delay on my monitor, which is fine. But when I reflect, Lady Kenitha, on the obstacles that I have been blessed to overcome with divine source working in my favor, then I also began to ask the question, what did I learn from the circumstance? What lesson did I learn? So today, as you share something that you overcame, something that you got through, something that was going to break you, I want you to share it. And then what did you learn from it? 2008, I had all sorts of opportunities coming to me. I had opportunities to do 2007, 2008. I had bookings lined up when I had shows that I was producing. I had shows that I was in, and they were lining up. I mean, people, it was just like crazy. I was like, as an actor and as a writer, as a producer, as a director, your work is sporadic. So if you're fortunate, you might get a 6-week gig here, or if you got a residency at a theater, you have a 6-month gig, and then you might not hear anything for another 6 months. So that's why you're careful about even how you parse out your money. You're like, okay, I'm making good money now for these 2 weeks, but I have to think about the next 3 months. So I'm not just going to go out and invest, put it all in a car, whatever it may be. But when I tell you I had a book full of bookings that probably would have put money in my pocket for the next 4 or 5 years. I mean, it was money where I could say, go anywhere. They say, well, what are you doing, man? You sitting out, you got your feet up in the vegetable aisle. You brought a lawn chair into the vegetable aisle at Kroger and put your feet up, sipping a drink. What are you doing? It's like, well, I can do it like that because I ain't thinking about nothing else other than I wanted to do this today. It was that kind of energy. Systemically, when the housing bubble burst, when everything happened, call after call after call. We're in a recessive environment. We're not going to be able to do this at this time. Let us try to book you at another date when the economy is better. And it was click, 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 click. And I started getting texts and calls from my booking agency at the time. And whereas months before, it was like call after call, email after email, I was like, cha-ching, I'm in divine alignment. Oh, and this is before everything is good, so I didn't know to sing that song. But I was like, oh my gosh. And then, just like that, based on some decisions that I had nothing to do with, based on mortgage lenders who got a bailout from the government, decided to let everybody in on this boom and create this housing bubble, based on all the investments that universities had made and performing arts centers had in their funding, investment funding, all of that went. The lesson that I learned was do not put everything into one specific basket. And do not go to Kroger and put my feet up just because I feel like it, because I'm feeling overconfident. Operate in alignment, but still continue to sow seeds in many ways that you have control of that other people are not controlling. That taught me to be more independent about creating things. And in line with the moment that Amun-Ra Theater got a playhouse and we were able to do productions here locally on 1/10 of the budget that we would need to do things on the road. And people came and they saw and they witnessed and they talked about it, and that energy got us through as an institution. So that's what I look at in terms of the lessons. Those are things that are happening with you. So look, I'm gonna go to the chat here because I appreciate it. Brother Tyrell says, I came through graduating high school with a 1.9 GPA to graduating college cum laude. I thought I was reading mine. Tyrell, no wonder we have things in common. I graduated cum laude. I thought I was graduating, thank you, Lord, but I got graduated cum laude too, and I love it. And that's a lesson in there. When that energy is in there, Sister Alicia is sharing today, being passed over for promotions, job opportunities, and watching someone less qualified get the job. The energies that's in there. Ashley, overcome cancer. I see you in there, y'all. Thank y'all for that transparency. Because these are things that are overcome. These are things that you've been brought to and brought through. When Tyrell says at 1.9, that feeling, man, is that it's shame and embarrassment, especially when you know that you have something better inside you. And down the line, you learn, when you graduate cum laude, you learn what? That you were smart all along anyway. All you needed to do was to apply yourself. That even though you may have been passed over for a promotion, you were being set up for something greater. Dr. Tiffany says, I was laid off from a full-time job with no severance pay. And yet you're here right now. Smarter, wiser, and better. See, this energy here that you put in, this is real time testimony. This is real time energy. It is real time representation. This is why I say, what is the promise that is emerging from this? Sister Ashley says, I learned how to make boundaries and love myself more deeply, and that's what got me through cancer. Come on, look at y'all. Y'all are reading this. Y'all are reading this. The reason why I say this is a gratitude chain right now. The reason why I say that is we are actively and always creating and writing scripture. Take a deep breath with me on that. Exhale it, because the reality is this. We are actively creating scripture. If you read this chat and somebody comes along later and watches the replay, I want them to be able to absorb the scriptural text that you see in here. That even though I was laid off for a job with no severance pay, even though I barely made it out of high school, even though I had a cancer diagnosis, even though I am here to stand on knowing that what I was brought to, I got brought through. What a testimony. So the promise is what you will be brought to, you will be brought through. The promise is that those things that you speak, you think, and feel will manifest. That the promise is that common unity and community supports you in a positive way, that you should be able to feel good when you walk in the room, and that you are the light that somebody is waiting on. And that's active scripture, because going over 11 years now in reflection, we see this testimony manifesting now, even in this chat, old or new, young or old. All of this energy is now manifesting in a powerful way. Something else you want to add later, Kenita? If you got a question also, if you're struggling with something you need to deal, I give you your 30-second warning. Drop it in the chat right now so that we can unpack it, because we are moving toward closure on this wonderful If Teacher Sunday. Don't miss the opportunity. Very rarely, I don't know. This is why Infinity was birthed through us. We didn't know of a place where you could actually ask questions. You ever been sitting like I have in a pew and somebody from the pulpit says something? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, bro. And then your friends grab your arm. You can't do that here. You can't ask questions. You just have faith. Well, here at Infinity, we want you to unpack, and we want to help you unpack in the best way. Sister Christina's like, I am the light. That is the testimony. I am in there. Yes, Lady Kenitha.
Well, I'll answer. So my thing, that the obstacle that I had to overcome recently, well, not recently, but was the loss of a mother. And I think that that's a moment in of itself. But what I learned from that was the ability to go back to praying. I didn't understand the art form of praying, or what we call perming, and speaking in the affirmative, or what it meant to have a praying mother. And so I had to go back to, again, to the roots and become that myself, because I was like, my children and all of the children that I connect to, or all of the people that I connect to, as you know, sometimes I feel like the nurturer, the mom of infinity, yes. You know, and so there was an art form that had to be developed of being able to pray and create that relationship. That's exactly what my mom did. And yes. That's what I was able to learn how to get back into that form, but also see that I had to take on that mantle of what it means to be a praying mother, or now what we call perming, because we're speaking things into the affirmative through everything. But I was going to ask, going back to you, a question that I have for you about relationship, and going back to standing on the promises. My question is, how often do you go to God or connect with God to seek the answers that you need in your life, so that you can develop relationship? Is it all the time, or is it when it's necessary?
I think the counter question is, how often do I not go to God for those things?
That's good. That's good.
Why would I not go to God about all those things continuously? We tend to think, and it's natural. That's a great question. We tend to think that God is contained. I go to my coffee when I need a boost. Thank you, coffee. Well, if your boost is continual everywhere else, this is simply a manifestation of it. And the ritual practice can allow you to think that this is the God, and I have to make way for God and make a place for God amongst everything else that is on this table. I got to make a place for God in the monitor. I got to make a place for God in the coffee cup. I got to make a place for God in the drinking straw. Oh, I got to make a place for all of this, where the reality is everything in this table is God. The table is God. Everything that's involved is God. So this is all a divine dance. We tend to want to know, and this is where the performative comes, right? The performative comes. Here is the prescription. I know. Ooh, this is the most beautiful challenge that I've got. If you're the testimony, because I'm going to read off some of these testimonies. We're going to put some of those testimonies up about what you came through, y'all, because we want people to see. And thank you for the transparency and see it. But one of my testimonies is people desire for me to be a cult guru. Not everybody, but they want the cult guru. And I don't mean by answering profound and deep questions. The Spirit works through me and my gift in a very specific way. You ask me a question, I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I'll ask you a question back. That's the way it's going to happen. People want a general cookie cutter construct with a subscription list that is prescriptive. In other words, you want, do these 5 things, and I guarantee you it's going to work. And if you don't do these 5 things, then you're going to go to hell or something bad is going to happen to you. And by no desire of my own, people come to a place and they want it because we have been taught that is what religion is. That is what spirituality is. It is a document. It is a set of rules, and it is a prescription that is going to help you stay in alignment for a reward down the line. Rarely is it a prescription for how to live life in the moment and operate from a love vibration. It's hard. And I say this coming out of it because whether you want it or not, there are so many cults of personality right now. There are so many denominational spaces and religious spaces where there are plenty of people who are looking forward to you joining to become part of the cult status. It's part of it. And we all are part of some kind of cult. You know, I'm part of the TSU cult.
Culture.
Because it's culture. I'm in the cult of Tennessee State University. I'm not blind to the cult. I'm not going to jump off the river for the cult. But if you ask me when it comes to Final Four season and all of this that people do, they say, who you root, man, for? Who's your favorite team? Who's your team? I say Tennessee State University. They say, oh, wait a minute. Are they a 16? What bracket are they in? They're not in the bracket. Oh, I'm talking about who you rooting for the championship. I'm rooting for Tennessee State University. But they're not in the playoffs. Of course they're not. So I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm rooting for Tennessee State. Do you think that the UK fans and the UT fans and the Duke fans, if they don't get in the tournament, do you think they're rooting for your school? Do y'all think they're rooting for? No. They're sitting in their blue gear and their white gear and their orange gear. They're like, I'm in this. This is who I represent. Because of what this school did for me, that's who I represent. I love everybody. I respect everybody. But you asked me who I'm rooting for. TSU. That's who I'm rooting for. Bum 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 bum. And I love it. I love it. When you hear that, dun 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 dun, TST. I'm gonna do it. So we all have that. And again, I'm not rooting to the point where I'm going to, destroy other people's dreams and all of that. But because that's when it's unhealthy. But people do because people want. when you're giving practices that grow, I will give you practices that have been proven over time to work for people to manifest fruit in their lives. But I'm not going to usher you and issue you something that is going to make you or lead you to become someone who presents something in a way that condemns other people and makes it so that you feel that you're right and everybody else is wrong. Some people need the discipline of praying 5 times a day, because if not, they will be on a bottle. Some people need the discipline of keeping pots in their house and an altar in their house and going through rituals at the river. Some people need that for consistency in spiritual practice. Other people love to hear good messages. It's all good. The question is, how does it bear fruit in your life? If the fruit that it bears is, I'm going out tearing other people down, it's not fruit, baby. It's not the kind of fruit that's going to help people. If it bears a fruit to say, I want to be like this person, and I want to live my life moving through the world in joy and peace, that's good fruit. And that's the fruit that we're given here, so that you can develop the tools that you need to live a better life. As we go, I've got some people in here. Long story short, I've got this and we got that. Tashana says, her obstacle was being told at 22 years old that I may not be able to have children. That's transparent. Kisses to those 2 beautiful daughters that you got right now. Kisses and love to those 2 beautiful girls who are out there making good grades and cheerleading and being athletic and doing all of those things after somebody told you that you may not be able to manifest them. But somebody on the side of the ancestral world said, I don't care what you say. We have chosen to go through Tashana and Tyrell to manifest in this world. And we're not only going to do it solo, we're going to send somebody with we're going to send 2 people in to manifest change in the world. And this is the portal we're going through. Damn what every doctor or anybody else says. Thank you for your opinion, but the Spirit has something else in mind. This is when we move to the place of presenting versus representing, because those children, they represent life's desire to be a yes and the universe being a yes, even when humankind says no or impossible. What a lesson. What a lesson. Mercy says, long story short, lost a job, couldn't get another job. Uber, Lyft, disability, my Lord. We lost the house. I work for myself now and realize I was ignoring my spirit all those years ago. Took it out of circumstances' hands and delivered it into the hands of vision. Took it out of the external and delivered it into the hands of what I can control in this manifestation. I can work for myself. I can create for myself. I can do for myself. I can live from this place of possibility. I can do the things that I do that will then bless me. And however I move through the world, I move with the confidence that the Spirit is working with me. Y'all are preaching in this chat today. And you didn't realize you were preaching in this chat because you were invited to share what you are creating is living scripture. And see, sometimes we're out there. I know there's some people out there who may be saying, well, I don't want to share my story. It's okay. But that's why the people who are being bold enough and kind enough to share authentically, not artificially, they are authentically and intelligently sharing their story in a way that lets them reflect in gratitude of what we've got over. That is the promise, that you can be authentic and see fruit from being real and keeping it 100. And that's a promise that you can stand on. Dr. Tiffany says, I learned to trust God in my relationships. This led to being able to get my house refinanced and a substantial amount taken off the principal. Come on now. Alacia said, not getting that promotion that we mentioned earlier reminded me that I was neglecting all the other things I can do independently. Getting that promotion would have taken time away from me creating an entrepreneurial ventures. Come on. Your energy would have been directed toward doing something else, counting beans in another structure as opposed to producing the beans for yourself. Somebody out there has a gift that they have been wasting on someone else, that you've been wasting on people who do not appreciate you and do not see you. This is an opportunity right now for you to say, if I can invest this time and energy into a construct that I don't like, can I turn within and focus that same energy and commitment to the things that God has given me to love? Come on.
No, I had one to share too, and it was about, you were saying about having to overcome with the hospital and that whole procedure.
You want me to go and put the mic on, Kai? Kai doesn't want it. Okay.
So what
Tell
I'm
the story,
thinking,
Mama, and then we're gonna get.
I'm just thinking, I'm gonna speak for her because she wanted to make sure, but the overcoming, not really sure what was going on with her, and then to get to the hospital and go through all of the treatment, the blood transfusions, the iron replacement, and all of that, and then to be able to get to the other side of it. But there were some things that didn't work out, and one of the things that didn't work out for her was cheer. And we didn't understand why, but if she had been in cheer, that would have put her in a place of, like, she would have damaged herself because she was at that extreme low, being very anemic, but we didn't understand. And so her getting over that every week of getting those the iron transfusions and having to get pricked and the, rashes and headaches, or, all of that, to bounce back and to keep moving forward. I think that was what yeah.
Kai, appreciate that. Kai sharing that.
To
be able to have the strength to stand on her feet,
yes,
and
our
do hair,
everything, hair,
right, and get on the debate team
with school and all of that kind of thing. But it is for all, this energy is it. And a lot of times when we can turn, I love that you have given us this practice. So even for those who did not share online, but you did write it out, or later on this week, you're going to be thinking about things obstacles that you've been able to overcome. And then what did you learn from it? It's just that practice of being able to see, connecting the dots of what did we learn from the so-called obstacles, and sometimes we just don't recognize that there was something that the universe and that God was looking out for us. There was some type of direction. There was some type of door that needed to be open. There was some type of movement that needed to be open for us. And this is for every single person, young to older. Sometimes we don't know, but when we're able to do a practice like this, to look at what it is that we learned from a so-called obstacle that put us in a better place.
What did we learn that put us in a better place? This is the question. This is what we look for. This is what we put into practice. And I send this energy out. I've got two that I see popping in here. Sister Lakeisha, thank you. She said, I share that overcoming lessons of grief. She said, yes, Sister Carr, love you. Overcoming lessons of grief. There are lessons to overcome with grief. And how we deal with grief. Grief will make you do some stupid stuff, and I almost changed stuff. I had to adjust for stuff because I know I got my young people watching, and I'm going to still be authentic, but it will make you do stupid stuff. When people say, well, here's what my sibling did, here's what my friend did, oftentimes when I'm listening to that in counseling and I say, okay, well, what happened to change this? And nothing happened. You dig a little deeper, and oftentimes it's the death of a parent, a death of a close friend, a loved one, So people are acting out and going through these 5 stages of grief. That is an observation. There's anger, denial, guilt, all of those that you go through, but they don't always fall in sequence, and they come at unexpected times. If you've ever lost somebody close, you understand that sometimes grief just comes on you. You don't understand what's really going on, but you have to learn those lessons, and that requires self-study. If you're not careful and to say, why am I feeling this? What is it at the root of? Well, much of grief happens because of our ego. Our ego is powerful. If something bad happens, we don't say, oh, my relative passed. We say, oh, I wish if I'd have just checked on them more. If I could have stepped up and done this better. And oh, I hope that they knew that I didn't. All of those eyes. You ain't the one that passed, right? You ain't the one that went to life after life. They're all right. You're the one that's here. You again centering yourself in their story, because that's what we do. We center everything around us as human beings. That is our challenge that we get to work through. To not reinvent who we think God is supposed to be, the ancestors, all of that, based on what our needs are in the moment and what our perspective is. Well, God's a wrathful God. Why? Because you get angry. God is a jealous God. Why? Because you get jealous. God's going to pay people back. Why? Because you hope so, because you want to see people get revenge. You want to see it. But all of these attributes that are human, because we're in this flesh and because we experience pain and other things that are physical and non-physical and metaphysical, we impose that. Where the universe is just simply saying yes to what you say and what you do. So yes, Lakeisha, the grief concept is there, but the reality is, if our responsibility ultimately is to live our best life in this moment, then even as we grieve, we learn the lesson. When you grieve someone who did not get to fulfill their dreams, the lesson is, I'm going to live mine. When you grieve someone who poured into you and made you feel special, and that's why you miss them. You know, my mom was one of those. She was a queen mother who, when people come around, they love her so much they want to fight over ownership of her. She had that. No, that's my mama. That's my grandma. My mama was like that with everybody. So guess what? What's the lesson to learn? To be the kind of people that make people feel so included and so loved by your presence and energy that they're going to say something similar when you transition. Even if you're 93 years old like my mama, or 111 like other people, even if you're 54, people can reflect and say, one thing I can say, I wish they were around a whole lot longer, but while they were on this planet, my God, when they walked into the room, it did something to me. Isn't that beautiful to cultivate a community of people? When they walk in the room, it just does something to you. I want you to do something to somebody today. And that comes from walking in alignment with where you are. Sister Ira says, how about CULT for Council Unity Living Times? I love it. Council Unity Living Times. Brother Terrence has it. I'm going to give that because y'all are going in on this chat, and I love it. Y'all are rewriting scripture right now. Terrence says, I sometimes drift. There it is. I sometimes drift to the space of worrying about death, what I'll leave behind, where we go, and salvation, especially in places and spaces where those we grew up with or went to school with pass suddenly. Leave it to Terrence. Just as we getting ready to wrap, drop a blockbuster into the chat. Terrence, we're writing living scripture right now, brother. And were I sitting in the theological seminary working on my MDiv or my DMin, and I had the opportunity to apply whatever field or lens of theology I would apply to it, whether it would be process, whether it would be Hebrew Bible, whether it would be womanist, whether it would be Christian nationalist, whether it would be black liberation, whatever lens it would, I would exegete the scripture. I would provide exegesis. So I think it's only fitting that we exegete this scriptural text that you have given us, I sometimes drift to the space of worrying about death. This is what's happened when we drift. See, when we drift, if you think about a ship that is in the water, if the ship is going in a certain direction, then it is guided and it is focused. If the rudder is not there, or if attention is not paid to the rudder, then the ship drifts. And it begins to go in various directions based not on where the captain wants the ship to go, but based on the sea and the tides and just whatever may blow us in different directions. It is the concept of the second law of thermodynamics that we talked about last week, entropy. That without paying attention, without maintenance, without staying focused, every system that exists will eventually drift into chaos. The hot cup of coffee that's not on the warmer to keep it warm will eventually reach room temperature. So as you know, because we know this ain't a spirit of judgment, this is a scripture to unpack for everybody. And it's beautiful that it's there because it happens to everyone. When we drift, then we are allowing ourselves to now be controlled by circumstances. The tidal waves, the weather, everything else is now moving us. And because of that, it leads us to a space of worry. Then we become worried about death. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. This is the greatest secret that has ever been told. If you got your journals out, if you got your notebook ready, if you're going to text whatever the screen, I want y'all to remember this. If I never teach you anything else, this is the most profound secret that has ever been revealed in the universe. Let me take a deep breath because I want to make sure I do it with intention and spirit. We're all going to die. You write that down. If you ain't realized it, I ain't saying right now. I'm not saying tomorrow. I don't know. No one knows the day or the hour. But I will say this. We all are going to die. This is a fact. That when you accept it, it's like saying there are 3 steps that it takes to get into my house. I may not like it. I may not agree. But if I want to get into my house, there are 3 steps there. And I have to learn to climb them to walk into my house. That's just a fact. The steps don't really care. They're there. But they don't care if you climb up them, if you drag yourself up them, or you jump off. There's still the 3 steps are there. Once we accept what is, then we begin to start asking questions. What can I learn from this? So from that scriptural text, when I'm worried about death, when we begin to worry, we focus on it. And yes, we do worry about it. We're going to die anyway. Why don't we embrace the concept of how do I live my life in the right now to the fullest? Since from the moment I emerged from the womb, I began the process of dying. Deepak Chopra talks about this process of ages in quadrants and reaching 0 to 25 adulthood, 25 to 50, and then you go 50 to 75. You begin to prepare after halfway through for how you die. And that is legacy. So the concept of worrying about death, if something is a circumstance, why would I worry about it instead of navigating it? How do I want to live for instead of worrying about something against that I can't stop? And even if I can extend it through better health practices like you do and everybody else who's focusing on holistic health, it still delays what is the inevitable, but the inevitable is not a bad thing. It is simply transition. So we think death is the end. It's not. There's no proven science that it is the end. The only thing we know is when consciousness and spirit is not in the body, it returns to wherever it was in before. So that concept of that death, that's the first part of the scripture. Second, what I'll leave behind, where we go, and salvation. What I'll leave behind. The question is, what will you leave behind? You all have the benefit or perhaps the curse of having a real conversation with a spiritual leader who's going to be authentic and real with you. What are you leaving behind? Somebody type that in the chat. What am I leaving behind? I have seen people, if you've ever had a relative who was a hoarder and kept everything, why? Because they wanted to make sure that they kept things that were useful for people in the future. Hardly anything. I might need that in the future. I might need that. But if you've ever been the relative that was left that had to sort through the hoarder's stuff, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? That's what y'all start saying. I can't believe they kept the rusted tin can from some saltine crackers from the 1940s that doesn't even have a top because they thought that one day it would be an antique. Well, yeah, if you kept it in a sealed bag with the top on and all of that, but even then, that's an antique to you. It may not matter to your next generation. How many people have had property left to them that they then fought over? You can Google in the news and find families who have accumulated immense wealth that they left behind for their children and their families, only for their children to be locked in a life or death battle over getting hold of the stuff to the point that they destroyed the relationship they had with who they are and who they were raised with. This happens even with the best of intentions. I speak from personal experience. This energy is, what do I leave behind? Well, do I leave behind the ability to navigate conflict? Do I leave behind a good attitude when I approach a difficult situation? Do I leave behind open communication? Do I leave behind a giving spirit? Do I leave behind a following through on your word when you say you're going to do something and you do it, and because of that, people can now love and trust you? Do I leave behind a memory of always being there when I look up in the stands and I see my daddy and my mama? Do I leave behind when somebody messed with me at school, my mom and daddy them showed up and said, we're going to clear this place out if you don't make sure that it's equitable for everybody because I am for my child? Oh, the things we get to leave behind. Since we know that this portal is coming, what do we embrace in this moment to leave behind? Where we go? You know, unfortunately, it's when you take that last breath, that's when you see it. And because it's your last breath, you can't fully communicate it. I trust people who've been there, who know, based on Kolioso Fakhri Din has a book called Spiritual Initiation, near-death experiences and as a way of in spiritual initiation. Forgive me, Kolioso, if I didn't get that perfect. But Kolioso, who I studied under, the lodge under, he's the only person that I know who has been clinically dead twice. Once in a motorcycle accident, there was another accident that he had, and he was gone. Dead on the table, sheet over, time passed. Came back into the body. Everything's unhooked, everything's gone, flatlined, no brain activity, came back. The last time, obviously, he stayed. He didn't come back. But when I asked him, I said, what is it, man? Because, of course, we want to know, and there are plenty of people who will tell us. You know, there are golden streets. There are all kinds of things that we're going to have. We're going to go into this honestly. There's a brother who just unpacked the somewhat sociopathic nature we would have to have for us to feel comfortable experiencing joy for eternity and consciously experiencing joy for eternity, and at the same time having no empathy for those people who we came up with or who are family members who are experiencing pain for all of eternity, and how somehow that doesn't mix. Because if you have a loving heart, how could you feel comfortable rejoicing knowing that people that you love are also on the opposite end of suffering? That's another thing to unpack at another date. But I say all that to say that as we get to this place of knowing, Kolioso was saying, I wanted to know. I was like, okay, you got to tell me what he said. All I can say is there was an intense feeling of joy And all I knew that I was in a place of light, and there was love, and that all things fit together. He said, I kept hearing and feeling this all together. I didn't want to come back. But the second time, it said, not your time. The energy said, not your time. And I came back into that body, and people were freaking out. He said, man, I was freaking out. He said, but I didn't go into a place where it was dark. He said, all I experienced was love, beauty, and bliss, and the understanding that all things are together. And I said to myself, that would have to be the space that exists, especially when what is beyond is reflective of what you are in right now. Are you operating in bliss and knowing that all things are working together? Are you able to wrap your mind around that right now? And I mean you by everybody. Are we able to say that regardless of what happens in the future, where are we living right now? You see, if we keep focused on what may or may not happen in the future, we condemn ourselves to living in hell in the right now anyway. Anxiety is hell. Anybody who suffers from it will tell you it's hell, because it's a fixation on some future event that has not even manifest yet, for which we have no proof. So day to day, we operate in the things that we can do. Can I make that phone call? Can I make that connection? Can I show up? Can I, when I have children, can I pour it to them in a powerful new way? Can I teach them that which I've been taught? That is legacy, and that is lovely, and that is powerful. Especially when we reflect, as you said here, Terrence, in this script, to the people you went to school with began to pass away suddenly. We don't get to control when that is. Should that moment come, and when that moment comes for any of us, we recognize who we are: students, classmates, family, friends, all of those things we are. And that's what we exist in the right now. We live life to the fullest. And we live the kind of life that will leave the legacy of remembrance that we did exactly that. That is standing on the promise. We are promised. You are promised that we are in this body right now, and we are in this body to live on purpose. What will we leave behind? What will we embrace? What will we do? That's up to you right now. I want you to stand on this promise that this energy is exactly where it is supposed to be, when it is supposed to be there, and that the promise is that you get to live in the vibrational frequency that you choose right now. Which frequency will you choose? I encourage you to choose the good and see what comes from it. From the root to the fruit. Stand on the promise. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Ashe, ashe. Asheo. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. We've had a living exercise, as I affirm to you right now. If you just go through this chat and replay this, share this to someone, with someone, what you'll see is that we have connected together living wisdom. Living wisdom not only for ourselves, but for others who will see us, because in 11 years we've come this far, thus far. And there ain't no stopping us now as a community. And the beautiful thing about being for this community in this space today is that it does not mean that you're against any other community. I run from any community that is trying to draw battle lines. I don't do that, because the universe isn't drawing battle lines. It's good to everybody who is in alignment with what they're in alignment with. The millions of people that showed up for No Kings, they're in alignment. The millions of people who are branding it as hate and not love, they're in alignment. The universe is amplifying the signal that you're in alignment for. We get to decide now what alignment we're going to walk in right now. And we're in alignment right now that is going to be good for us. So I encourage you in this moment that if there's a decision that you need to make for community, especially my new folks, thank you for hanging with us today. Sometimes we have epic if teachers like today. But if you're in a place where you feel that alignment, again, we start new members on Wednesday. Answer that email or click on that list or click on the link that'll come up later. And let's start this journey. so we can keep you into this alignment space. And new folks, don't do it again. I know we have to tell people because they're like, new members was so good, I want to go through it again. No, it's okay. We're going to go through more. But first and foremost, you got the tools that are going to help you live a better life, and that's what we're here for. Let us bow our heads in this moment as we speak alignment, going into this place. Divine source, all-wise power, we give thanks to you in this moment right now. We don't invoke you because you're not a separate present. We evoke you because you are continually present with us right now. We thank you for the goodness that you have placed in this world. We thank you for the goodness that you have placed in this world. We thank you for the love that you have placed in our hearts. We thank you for the message that we have received today. We thank you for the promises that you have given to us. We speak in this moment right now that the words that we have presented here, that you have spoken through Spirit, that these words continue to lift, continue to shape, continue to mold, continue to grow those who have heard them. And for those who are deeply involved in the process of interrogating themselves and how they move through the world, we give thanks that you have gifted them with this opportunity to do just that. That we grow in a powerful way that will continue to keep us lifted, that will continue to leave us in a growing space, that will continue to push us to pull deeper, to grow deeper, and to do so together. Thank you for the living wisdom that is not only for ourselves, but for others. Thank you for this beautiful opportunity to continue to focus our energy on Spirit and Source. And thank you for the healing that comes from it. Thank you for the understanding that no matter what we study, no matter what we put into the world, that if it does not bear fruit for us, then we can move it to the side and lean into the practices that show us how to show up for ourselves, for our families, for our loved ones, for our friends, for our community. Continue to lift us. We proclaim these things in the goodness. We proclaim these things in the right lane of thinking. We proclaim that this week we will demonstrate it in our practice, that this light is powerful and ultimately comes for you. In this moment, we proclaim these things to be true, and so it is. Deep breath in and exhale, release. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe. So it is. I'm gonna switch to my live here on Friday, so I can still be heard. And there it is, as we are in there. Y'all, as we get ready to go on out, as we get ready to move from this place into the world that awaits your light, I want you to, as we play some music going out, I want you to share this with other people. And more importantly, you're in the chat, say hello to somebody. Speak something that is powerful over somebody in the chat, especially if it's a stranger. You want somebody to say, when I tuned in Infinity on Sunday, man, somebody told me I was going to break open new doors at the end, and they called my name. Guess what? Just as the universe, as God, as the ancestors know you by a name that nobody else knows you by, you get to proclaim that energy on somebody else today and empower them. So we want you to do that in the chat. With that said, we're going to get ready to move through and close out service. I want to remind you that Yoga Sunday is next week. Those of you who are in town, come practice with me. We're going to be on these mats, and then we're going to do our walk, meeting up in the parking lot at 12:30 in Infinity Fellowship. You can walk with us and fellowship with us as well. Get that energy in. Love and energy to our people who are first timers, to our live streamers around the world. Listen, you're in California, you're in Norfolk, Virginia. We got all of these people coming in on the stream, and I see you, and it's beautiful. Guess what? The Norfolk area is here. You representing, you are with us. We're in this thing together. We got members from Georgia, California, 2 countries in Africa, Bahamas. We got people from all over. So if you get the new members, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We'll have that slide come up at the end of service today. But wherever you are, put your hands in the receiving position. And we speak that the love of God, the universe, the ancestors, the blessings of the cosmos and their memory, rest, rule, rock, and abide with us henceforth, now and forevermore. Let us all say together, Amen.
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 Hotep.
Hotep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ashe.
Ashe.
On behalf of everybody at Infinity, this has been Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr, also known as Rev Jeff, Lady Kenitha Carr, and all the tech staff who have worked with us today. All of you Infinite Life streamers, we love you. That's a fact you cannot change. Peace, blessings, and power. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Peace.